What up, ladies and gentlemen? It's Monday night, so that means Monday Night Metals. What is going on? We got Thousandaire was first with Yua. I think that's however you say that. Mr. Happy Stacker 69. So see you in a few. Mishy Stacker, good to see you. Kevin Hawthorne, FG Stacker, Silver State. Tony Begg says Dub C said to come on over. Appreciate Dub C sending you over. Reckless Collections, Vegas Stacker, Silver State Stacker, Chesapeake Bay Brian is in the house. And 867 Diesel, Matt Wingay. In upper left, we have myself, Vegas Stacker. Upper right, we have the co-host, Blue Collar Stacker. And on the bottom, we have no other than the Vegan Stacker, aka Dub C.
You guys know that was just a joke. I just was trying to mimic Vegas Stacker by changing a single letter. I know that's going to fly over a lot of people's heads tonight.
Well, not anymore.
I like it. Very creative.
Sometimes you got to spell it out. Good to see everybody. Thank you guys for having me for this Monday Night Metals.
Yeah, always.
The farewell show.
It is our farewell. It is our finale. It is our finale, our last show. But that's okay. You know, it's been a good run. It's been a good time. We've had a lot of interesting conversations, a lot of interesting guests. Some interesting, some not so interesting. But it's been good. They are filing in Electro Stack Attack, the Golden Dragonfly, Mustard and Biscuits, Shep Celsius, West Texas. Good to see you. Hope you're cooking up something good this evening. Silver Serpents, good to see you as well. Silver Serpent says, why farewell last show? Well, you know, it just comes down to it, folks, that after all this time, the year ends.
That's it.
The year ends, so another one begins. It was sort of clickbait that Blue Collar and we came up sort of together to have a little clickbait and say last show. We're taking next week off.
Yep.
So it's the last show of the year.
Yeah, last show of the year. So we'll be back fresh in 2026.
Like Frosty the Snowman.
To set the world on fire.
Good to see everybody. So yeah, they were just lying. They're just liars. They're lying about it being their last show. It's the last show of this year. Is it really? You're not going to go live next week. Next week is still 2025.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, Dub C came in just because he thought he was going to piss on our grave. He's going to be in our Cheerios.
We just figured, you know, everybody has stuff going on. Saturday, you know, everybody's got Christmas on Thursday. So Saturday, we figured, let everybody do the family thing. And then same with Monday. What the heck? Spend time with your family. Don't worry about hanging with us. And spend time with your family. Enjoy those holidays. Enjoy the family time. And the new year is right around the corner. So why not?
Yeah, definitely. And it allows us a little bit of a break, too, because after a while, man, this is tiring, right?
Yeah, I mean, 2 shows a week for, what is it, about a year now, right?
Yeah, easily. Oh, yeah, no, it is. We were just talking about that, me and the wife. Since January, I think it was January 9th, you and I went live on a Saturday morning. That was the first time we ever went live together. And then me and LBS formed a cabal and started from there.
Yeah. So
Mustard and Biscuit says that I'm here because I'm the deadliest catch. Because you guys are the deadliest catch? I don't know. We need some clarification.
I like that.
Am I reading this right? We got, oh no, I'm looking. Do we have 50 likes in this? Or am I oh no, that can't be right. I'm looking at the stream, the last stream.
Hey, 50 likes is okay. We only have 11 right now, and there's 26 people. So there's 15 people. If you don't mind hitting that like button, we'd greatly appreciate it.
Hit the like button. Subscribe to Blue Collar and Vegas Stacker. I don't need any more subs. I'm not looking for any more subs. I'm going to close down my subs, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, Dub C just put on about 300 subs in the last day and a half.
Something 350 subs in the last day and a half.
Nice.
Last weekend, not day and a half. Let's not be ridiculous.
He's no longer taking any more subscribers.
Yeah, I'm done. That's it. If you got in, you got in. Congratulations, but I'm not welcoming anybody else to the channel.
Yeah, it's funny. I've actually been putting on some subs too, but like 2-3 a day. And I don't know where they're coming from. I haven't put nothing out.
These guys are prey. That's not true. I'm narrating just because I'm the one who gets the voice, but it's their show. I'm just here, right? It's their world. I'm just living here.
Yeah, we're all stackers, right? Isn't that what you say?
We're all stackers. Well, I'm just a stacker like you guys.
Yeah.
And believe me, I know people whose stacks are so ridiculous that they make my stack look like Vegas stackers.
Oh, wow. My stack hasn't really grown this year. I had more stuff going on this year than last year. Just different, it's just a different year. So money goes in different places.
Yep.
Um
It's a good
allocated
thing
to,
you're independently wealthy.
yeah. It's allocated to just living expenses right now, and with the prices and stuff going up. I didn't stack as much as I wanted to this year, but that's okay. I'm okay where I'm at.
I do have my fourth quarter 2025 update probably either coming out this week or next week. I haven't decided. That'll be Friday. And in that video, it just hit me how hard, or really hard, in that I just didn't pick up very much this quarter. When you're walking into that coin shop and they've got something kind of interesting and it's $80 for a 1 ounce silver piece, it's tough. That's hard. That's really tough.
Yeah, hard to swallow. I get it. I mean, I October and November, I added about a gallon Ziploc bag each month. December, not much, man. I think I have like maybe 3 or 4 pieces. That's it.
I mean, I think we all probably tap the brakes a little bit when we get closer to the holidays. We know that there are going to be a lot of expenses associated with it. But, and for a couple of my businesses, the operating expenses in wintertime typically goes up also. So I have to be kind of cognizant of that. But the fact of the matter is that when you're walking into the shop, not only has there not been the cool things that I really like to see, which is a little bit surprising, but the prices are just kind of sticker shock. And eventually I'm going to have to get over that if this is really the new norm. But you guys know that I did sell last week, today is Monday. Why does it feel like it's about a Thursday already?
Oh, so you did get the deal done?
I got the deal done. So that was 100 ounces of silver and 2 ounces of gold.
Nice. That's a good little deal.
It was, it was a small fraction of my stack, but I felt like I really needed to take advantage of it. And of course, silver is playing with $70 an ounce today. Blue collar, guess what I have from the vault?
Oh, is that a roll of dimes?
That is an unopened roll of dimes. One of the last 2 or 3, I actually dug through it. I thought I had several more of these, but apparently this is one of the last 2 or 3 that I have that's still sealed. So
Nice.
if things get slow, we may open that tonight.
All right.
Matt Wingate says the skipper is off the ship. Yes, he is back on dry land.
Back on dry land.
Silver Dragoon, good to see you. Yeah, we were this price right now is crazy. I was watching a video earlier today, and I didn't even really think about it, but they were running over the charts and everything, and silver from October until now has gone up 50%. That's crazy.
That is crazy, and it gives you pause. Is this really the right time to be buying? I said in the last live stream when I was talking about this, whether or not it was a good idea for me to be selling and how emotionally draining it was for me to go through that process. Zero regrets. I am so happy that I did take advantage of those prices where they were. And if it goes up, I'll reconsider and maybe I'll sell a little bit more. And if it drops down, of course, I'll start, buying in earnest again. But no regrets. I really thought that I was going to be pained for a long time, and so far, I'm just happy. Looking at this big stack of bills here, it makes me happy.
Oh, is that where the bills came from?
Yeah, that's part of it. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, where did it go? Platinum's gone up like 30% in 2 weeks. That's another crazy one.
That is crazy. You guys know that I've been beating that drum for a long time. So thrilled to see platinum where it is, finally up a little bit higher. But I'm not sure it's really kind of keeping its proportion with gold. I don't know what the gold to platinum ratio is, or vice versa. I haven't been paying that close attention. So has it been going up commensurate with gold, or is it kind of breaking out from gold?
It was just around like 2.1 this afternoon.
Wow.
And it was as high as like 2.6, 2.8. So it's catching a little bit. Not like crazy, but it's catching.
Man, that was crazy. T-Bird Stacking, thanks you for the greetings. We've also got Mr. Happy Stacker. Appreciate everybody saying hi. Silver Serpent, Thousandaire, good to see you. Thousandaire is always fun to listen to. You guys know that I really think that he's got one of the best quick performances. I don't know, what do we call that on YouTube? He and Blue Collar are about the same to me, and I think that's really fun to listen to these guys. We've got Cartier Silver DC. We've got who else here? Matt Wingate, always good to see you. Chesapeake Bay Brian, nice to have you in the house. Thank you everybody for joining us for Monday Night Metals. Hopefully you are not in sticker shock like us old guys are when we walk into the shop and we see these prices. Anybody else been selling? Is it something that you guys have been selling? Is everybody buying? Are you considering?
Today I almost went and traded some gold for some platinum.
I like that idea.
Just for something different, you know. I have some fractional gold that I had planned on stacking, but I just think that ratio is gonna close up, you know. I don't think it's gonna be where it's sitting at. And I called the LCS today. They had the only platinum they had was an Isle of Man, a 1 ounce, and I think they wanted like 2,200 for it at the time. So it was like at the time it was like $100 over spot. So not terrible for platinum.
Yeah. Now the Isle of Man, who makes that?
So they were made by the Pobjoy Mint mostly.
It was Pobjoy, okay.
A couple other places that made them. I think the Royal Mint might have dabbled in them too.
Yeah, I would rather have an eagle, but I was like, the Isle of Man comes up quite a bit when people talk about platinum, I believe. So I was just like, maybe. And then I called another coin shop, and they were like, "What did I text you, Blue? I forgot what it was. It was something crazy though."
Yeah, you did text me, but I was probably sleeping.
Let me see what it was. I took it. They wanted $5.95 for a 1/4 ounce and $2.95 for a 1/10 ounce. Eagle, platinum eagle.
Yeah, it sounds kind of high, but
so I thought that was a little.
Yeah, $2.95. That would be like, wow, that's
almost
like
3,000.
30 something percent premium.
Yeah, almost 3,000, and then you're looking at a 1/4 ounce at you figure 600, so you're looking at 2,400, so like a $200 premium. Not
10% ish, somewhere in there.
Yeah. And then
Shiny Silver tiling in from the UK. Thank you for being an overseas subscriber or joiner. If you haven't subscribed, if anybody hasn't subscribed to Vegas and Blue Collar and Old Dub C, go ahead and click on that subscription button. I'm looking through the comments right now, and it looks like a lot of people are trading silver for gold. I think that's really interesting. You know, obviously that ratio is exciting to watch now, and the price of silver is so high, but it does look like gold is starting to climb now. It was kind of stalled there for a while, wasn't it?
Yeah, it did have a little lull. And see, that's why I was looking more towards trading like some gold for platinum, just because I know the coin shops they're gonna end up getting a lot. I figure a lot of people are gonna go in there with their silver and start picking through the gold, you know, to take advantage of it all. So my thought was maybe that the LCS might want some gold for that reason. So maybe I would get a good fair price on trading out some gold for some platinum.
I think
Silver
that's fair.
Dragoon says no one ever went broke paying capital gains.
Capital gains, what's that? Where did I see? Mr. Happy Stack says 1 ounce of platinum can be as much as 200 over spot. Yeah, that's not uncommon. I've seen that quite a bit. But that's still, you know, like, I don't know. These coin shops rarely have platinum here in town, and when they do, it seems to sit in the case for quite a while.
Yeah, that's the only thing that scares me about platinum. The liquidity. Liquidity's terrible.
But what did I say? We were texting about it the other day. I had called the one shop, and they pay like 6% back.
Yeah.
So they still pay 94%, which 6% back is better than what you're getting for silver right now for the most part.
Yeah, that's true.
You know?
Yeah, but you know what it is? Silver has just been, I guess platinum's been on a moonshot too. Yeah, I don't know. That's a tough one. There's a lot more buyers for silver, though. I will say that. You can go on silver and you can sell it on eBay or pure metals or, PMs for sale and get at least spot for it.
Yeah, I look on PMs for sale quite a bit lately, and there's a lot of good deals on there if you're looking to pick up silver. And they have like 10-ounce gold eagles run like 450 to 460, which I didn't think was too bad. Thousandaire said he sold a 1/10 platinum eagle for 270. That's
Yeah.
a fair price.
That's a good price for him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, if you were picking that up at 900 or less, especially, nice. That's really nice.
The Golden Dragonfly says, how many 1/10s do you have there, vegan stacker?
Tenths. I don't silver
Oh, shit.
tenths. I don't have any gold tenths out at all right now. Hey, let's try to bring us back into focus. That is a 20 franc piece. And focus. There we go. So we've got a stack of sovereigns here. This is a stack of quarter eagles. Kind of like that noise, don't you? So these are all quarter eagles here. I've got a couple 20 franc pieces. Focus. Come on now. And there we go. Lost it for a second. And then this is all the Mexican tiny pieces, the 2 peso, 2.5 peso stuff. So no tenths out here. Dos Medios, yep.
The pesos are close, right? Though those are just under a 10th ounce. No,
peso is just under a 20th.
The 2 peso is 1.499 grams, and then the 2.5 peso, if I remember correctly, is 1.875.
I haven't got too much into the foreign gold. I figure if I'm gonna do like fractional gold, I would do my thinking and my goal last year, which I didn't really stick to it, was 1/10 ounce eagles, gold eagles, and 1/10 ounce maples. I was gonna do one of each or rotate them and try and fill like a tube up, which I got distracted and didn't do, so that's okay. Frank Me says, Vegas Stacker, what is your favorite LCS in Vegas? None of them. They all suck, in my opinion. The one I normally go to is closest to me, which is Las Vegas Coin on Eastern and Silverado Ranch area. I just go there because it's closest to me. The other ones, like Archangel, I would go in there more often, but that's like a half hour each way without traffic, so I don't make it that way too often. And Sahara Coin sucks. I'm not a fan of theirs. I shouldn't say they suck. They have nice stuff in there, but I'm not a fan of theirs. And I know there's a couple others, but I just don't make it to those either.
What about Sun City? I like Sun City.
Sun City was nice, but that's like 45 minutes from me, if not further. And I just don't feel like driving that far. 45 minutes each way, sort of annoying. I don't know.
Golden Dragonfly says try Sun City. We've been there.
Spoiled.
Yeah.
No, Sun City is nice. Maybe I will call them tomorrow and see what they have. Their selection seems sort of limited when we were in there, though.
I don't know. He had a lot of stuff. I picked up some cool stuff in there.
Yeah, but he had like 2 trays of generics, and like not a whole lot of other stuff. Golden Dragonfly says taxes at Sahara. Yeah, that's why I'm not a fan of Sahara coins. They do have nice stuff in there. Their prices are a little high, and you have to pay taxes on their stuff. So, not a fan.
Yeah, that sucks. Yeah, I think Sun City, isn't that where I got my 2020 Year of the Rat?
Think so.
Yep. That was a good
Silver State says he was just in Sun City and he's closed till after New Year's, basically. That's another thing. Like his hours is like
from some health issues, wasn't he?
Yeah, Silver State said he did have some health issues. Golden Dragonfly says he never answers his phone. Yeah, I don't think he's there too often. I think he's one of those ones where like he just goes to work or opens the shop when he wants to or when he can. I think it's like a retirement community area up there.
Yeah. Well, he did. I'm pretty sure he had a heart attack, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I know there were some health issues. I remember Silver State saying that.
Yeah.
Golden Dragonfly says, I'm not paying an extra $400 for Gold Eagle. Yeah. Sun City is small. I visit Neil on Flamingo and Jones. Good
Oof.
selection, little dealing. Oh yeah, they're
Oof.
that was the first coin shop I went into, and the guy greets you at the door, and he's like, "What are you looking for?" I'm like, "I don't know. I'm just got into stacking. I normally buy online. I just wanted to check out a coin shop." And right away, he's like, "Well, we can't beat their prices," and I'm like, well, "All right, I guess I'll just piss off."
Leave.
I guess I'll just piss right off. But that's okay. That's their way.
Yeah, at the show, they don't really show much in the way of metals either. It's like weird stuff they got out there.
It's weird stuff in their store too. They had like a lot of hand poured and stuff like that, which there's nothing wrong with, but I don't know. It's just weird. Silver
like
Serpent says, "Weird? Yeah, there's nothing wrong with weird, but their weird
Like
prices
comic
go with
books
it."
and stuff. Didn't he
Oh,
have
yeah.
comic books or something?
Well,
That's
that's
kind of weird.
Las Vegas Coin is like that too. You walk into Las Vegas Coin, they got like an old bicycle. They have like old Coke machines. Las Vegas Coin has all that shit too.
Yeah, they got like antique section for sure.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
Which is fine. I mean, if you're into that.
Well, like one of the brothers, I think it's the owner's brother runs that's like the owner's brother's little side gig, and then the owner does the coin. So I don't know. Silver Serpent says Eagles are boring, too high premiums, and overhyped. But the premiums, the way I look at it is you pay a little higher premium in the beginning and you get a better premium in the end too, though, when you go to sell it. My thinking. From what I've seen. I could be wrong.
I just went over to my own channel and shared out the show.
Did it
So
work?
maybe, yeah, why not, right?
Yeah, that's a good
I
idea.
wonder if I can do that.
You probably could, Dub, and you probably should.
I probably could, but I'm not going to.
Well, he doesn't want to be known to be fraternizing with us.
That's
I don't blame him.
exactly right, especially since I closed down my subscriptions.
That's it.
FG says blue collar, that green light makes those rounds look like they are irradiated. I may be saying that wrong or something.
It's not really green. It's like kind of piss yellow. Let me fix that. Is that better? Turn it up a little too.
I didn't even know anybody looks at our stuff.
FG made this, so he's gonna look at it.
I have a package right here from FG. I wanted to do an unboxing last night, but I didn't get off the couch. I started watching a Netflix Western. Oh, shit, I forgot the name of it. But it's about like this family that they're living on this land that the silver mining company wants.
Oh yeah.
So I found it sort of interesting. I got stuck in watching that. I couldn't even fall asleep because I was watching it. Nonsense.
I think I watched a part of that. I don't remember the name of it either. It's a new series, right?
Yeah. It's something.
Yeah, it's got like a matriarch, like the woman is like the head of the family or something.
Yeah, she was like the nanny, and she took the kids in when the dad died or something.
Something, yeah.
And it's the lady she played on Game of Thrones.
I never watched Game of Thrones.
Yeah, she was like the mother from the Game of Thrones. Netflix series.
Yeah, I never got into Game of Thrones either. Couldn't do it. Wasn't that it came on right after The Sopranos was over, and I don't know.
Yeah, I never watched Sopranos either. I know I'm a terrible person. Everybody watches both of those shows. I never watched Breaking Bad.
Oh my god.
Breaking Bad was good. Sopranos got old.
Yeah, Sopranos probably went like maybe 1 year too long.
Now I gotta find the name of this movie. It's gonna bug me.
Somebody's
It's actually a series, which is even worse. It's like just make it a freaking The Abandons. That's what it's called. I knew it was something weird.
Yeah. West Texas says Mrs. West Texas is getting me a Mexican 5 peso for a Guatemala for Christmas. I'm guessing for Christmas. Nice. You know that I am a huge fan. I think Dub was talking about memberships at 867 Diesel. That sounds very wrong. I don't know what that is. To do other business, I'm a pourer. Oh, okay. Deb strikes me as a Seinfeld fan. Not really. I mean, I kind of watched it back in the day. The stuff that I watch would probably bore most people. I've been, I watch a lot of like BBC documentaries, like Time Team and that kind of stuff. Recently, I've been watching Ricky Gervais's last series that was called Afterlife.
So you don't
Not
really watch Murder, She Wrote?
Yeah, I don't really watch Murder She Wrote. Although, I like shows like Grantchester, which is kind of the same thing. You could act like it's not really Murder She Wrote. It's Murder She Wrote. It's the same idea.
I mean, there's only so many ideas that they can come up with for shows right now.
Yeah, believe it or not, I like period dramas. So if you've got like murder mysteries from the 1930s or 1940s, that's kind of what I like sometimes. But I also like action movies and violence and stuff like that too. I tend to be a bit of an Anglophile. So if there's like British crime drama, especially if it's violent stuff, Jason Statham kind of stuff, or Snatch or Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels, that kind of thing. I like that kind of stuff too.
Did you ever get into any of that Yellowstone and 1923 and whatever the hell it was?
I got to admit, the Yellowstone to me looked like a soap opera. I mean, it was acted like a soap opera. Everybody was beautiful in it, like a soap opera. The drama is like a soap opera. So I know it was kind of geared towards men who think they're kind of manly men, busting broncos and working in the oil fields or cattlemen or that kind of stuff. It looked awfully soap opera to me. So if you liked it, no harm, no foul. If you like soap operas, that's perfectly fine too. But it's not really something that appealed to me.
Yeah, I like Landman with Billy Bob Thornton. You ever
Love
seen
Billy
that?
Bob. Watched Bad Santa last night.
Oh yeah.
Holy cow! Gold is getting ready to hit 4,500.
Is it really?
It's just, I don't know what to do about it. What do you do about it? What do you do about gold hitting that? It's getting to be scary. This is kind of the things that we always thought about. What if gold gets up to $4,000 an ounce? What if silver gets up to $50 an ounce? And now they've just blown through those figures. It's a little bit terrifying.
Yeah, gold is 69.
It's nice to be holding instead of not holding, right?
I mean,
well, that's like everybody's calling for a pullback. But I mean, it hasn't. There were people at 40 that were talking about a pullback, and once it closed over 40, it never looked back.
Yeah. So I've been calling for silver to start falling back into the $30 range. Kind of. I've always said nobody's got a crystal ball. There's nobody way that anybody can predict this stuff. But I'm the first person to admit I never would have predicted, silver would hit 60 something dollars an ounce in 2025.
I mean, like at what point do you say, I'm not going to buy anymore until it gets to this price? But you can't really say that, right? Because I mean, look at the people that said, okay, it's over 40. I'm not going to buy again until it dips under 40, and they're still sitting there waiting. I mean,
you got people that said, I'm not buying $1,000 gold.
Yeah.
Well, that's true. You definitely did. I'm reading the comments. Thank you, everybody who's commenting. Emerald Coast, especially West Texas Stacker, Golden Dragonfly. You guys are all talking about the figures that you've heard or the figures that you're expecting it to hit. The question is, what happens if your coin shop is in a position where they kind of have to sell at $75, $85, $95 an ounce, $100 an ounce? Are they going to find buyers? Are people going to still come in to buy silver at $100 an ounce? And does that mean that the dealers who have inventory are going to wind up shipping that inventory to their distributors, whoever that might be, the refineries or whatever? But then that's it. They close their doors. If they can't get people coming into the shop to buy, it's unprecedented, or it's almost unprecedented. So it's like, what happens from here? I don't know. It's really strange.
Well, Blue Collar and I had an interesting conversation through text message. We text freaking all the time about shit, and we were texting back and forth this morning. And then one of the texts from Blue Collar was like, "Are we overthinking this?" And I'm like, "Maybe we are."
Overthinking it. Yeah, you might be. I mean,
well, one thing we came up with, and I don't remember if it was him or I or both or whatever, but it's like, okay, so these coin shops, it's $60, $70 right now. These coin shops are getting loaded down with silver. they're just blasting it right to the refinery so that they can keep their, so that they don't go under just by buying everybody's metal and nobody else is coming in buying. But what happens when everybody that is selling, they have no more to sell, and these coin shops have no silver to sell because nobody's coming in to sell it. So our thoughts, actually I think it was Blue Collar that came up with the idea, was that the premiums have to come back to reality at some point. Right now, these coin shops are paying $6, $7, $8 back a spot for your silver.
You said 6, 7.
I think because they're scared, you know, they don't want to get stuck with it. And it's whatever the wholesaler's paying for it. So my thought is, I'm not a professional at this, but my thought is, you know, what the wholesalers are driving the premiums right now. But at some point when nobody's going in there to sell their silver anymore, everybody's already sold what they've had, the coin shops are going to have to start, you know, coming back to reality with those premiums, I think.
Well, they're only going to pay a little bit back of what they can lay it off to somebody else for, because they can't afford to. How much silver can afford to buy at $75 an ounce or whatever it is? Just not much, you know.
It's definitely different. I would like to throw one other cog, one more spanner in the works here. You know, up until this point, when B Taylor, good to see you, man. It doesn't seem like I see you at all anymore.
What's up? Haven't seen you in a while.
That's why I posted that. Good to see you, B Taylor. Hope all is well. Haven't seen you in a while, so it's good to see you, bud. Hope all is going well.
I think you guys are right. In the last run up, especially when the economy started to go in an iffy situation, my local dealers all were saying that they haven't had people coming in to sell recently. And I'm going back probably 3 or 4 years now, because everybody who had something to sell had already sold it, right? This is the kind of thing that we saw in Appalachia in the 1990s when, you know, meth really started hitting really hard. And you had people that had sold everything they had. They had nothing else to sell. They had to fall back on things like making meth just to make ends meet. I'm not saying that's an excuse or anything, but this is what comes to mind. And in my environment, everybody who had precious metals had already sold them. But consider Costco. This is an entirely new thing that's entered into our world here in the last 3 years. And I still don't think that many people understand the impact that Costco has had. They haven't sold you know, $5 or $10 million worth of silver and gold. They were selling something like $50 or $100 million a month.
They would sell out immediately as soon as they put it out.
So you have so many people now who own these Costco silver bars and gold bars and Eagles and everything else, Maples, that have come through. And Costco's constituents, their clientele, tends to be pretty well off. So I'm not sure that those people are even paying that much attention to the market. And even if they are, they're probably not in a position where they have to sell. But at some point, that sleeping giant is going to wake up. There are 50 million Costco members who bought precious metals in the last 2 or 3 years, and they're sitting on that stuff. And when they wake up, that's going to come flooding in. It's an interesting thing to think about. And maybe I'm going to stop this and make a video about it.
Yeah, there you go.
It's interesting. You know, I don't think my friends and I tend to think of the stacking community as being the people that I talk to online through YouTube, but then also local coin shops. But they can't touch what Costco has done. They have become by far the biggest retailer of precious metals. I mean, they have eclipsed everybody except, you know, maybe PAMP and APMEX and that entire big thing. So an A-Mark and all that kind of stuff. But their impact, I don't think, has really been felt yet. And there are, you know, hundreds and hundreds of thousands of ounces of gold out there and probably millions of ounces of silver that have been sold that are still looking to find a home eventually.
Well, it's not like, you know, they just found new customers. They took customers away from everybody else at the same time.
I don't know, man. There are a lot of people that have never seen metals before had this put in front of them for the first time. So I hear what you're saying, and you might be right. Just putting it out there, I think Costco's buyers are super insignificant in the world of precious metals prices. Mustard and biscuits, no denying that. You are absolutely correct. We tend to think of ourselves as being movers and shakers in the precious metals field. We are insignificant. We don't matter at all. It's the big contracts, the COMEX contracts and the global contracts, those huge contracts of 10,000 or 50,000 ounces of gold and all that kind of stuff. That's what moves the market.
Yeah.
So the individual buyers don't move the market at all. We're talking about local coin shops and what happens to them. And I think it's possible that if the economy goes in the wrong direction, continues to go in the wrong direction, and people are in a position where they have to sell, you have a lot of people who probably have precious metals who have never had to sell before. And it's going to be interesting to see what happens with that.
So your thinking is once the coin shops start getting flooded with these bars that are coming out of Costco, that the premiums could even go lower?
I think it's possible, but I think it's, if nothing else, we could see a continuation of those coin shops being opened, if nothing else, to buy so that they can sell to their refineries or their distributors. If that happens, there's going to be a lot of people coming in from that environment who've never had to sell before. In fact, old Dub C made a video about that a long time ago.
That was actually your most popular video, I think, wasn't it?
My most popular video was the Costco video that I did about Silver Eagles. And that's really interesting because that came out December 21st, 2023. My most popular video, my #1 video of all time. Yesterday, my brand new video became my #2 video of all time after 48 hours.
Crazy.
Yeah, you were killing it.
Just bizarre. Let's stop talking about precious metals. Let's talk about me.
Yeah.
So, like, man, I don't know. It's just, you've been stacking longer than anybody that I talk to about stacking or whatever. So, like, this is unprecedented, right? There was the other two spike ups where it went way up and it dropped way down, but this is different times, is it not? Like, there's so much different.
This is weird. Yeah, this is definitely unusual. So we have had run-ups before, and I've been there for the last three of them. But this feels different. This feels different because in those times that the precious metals have gone up, the economy was relatively stable. It was other factors that were pushing and pulling. And now it's not so much just the American economy that seems to be in a difficult situation. It's global. So I think that this precious metals rally that we've seen recently is being reflected all around the world right now. There are countries that their entire culture is based on precious metals and they can't get the metals right now. So this is weird. This is strange.
So I got to take a little bit of a counterpoint on that. You're saying that in 1980 and 2011, the economy was good?
It wasn't that it was good. It's that elements of that economy were okay. And right now I'm not seeing very much in the American economy that are doing well. But more importantly, I don't see a lot of other markets in the world, other countries in the world whose economies are doing well either. So it's unusual. I don't think I remember seeing this kind of scenario before.
Yeah, I'm thinking like 2011 was right after the real estate market crashed. The stock market had crashed.
Yeah. And
it was pretty piss poor years for me in the building industry. I will say that.
Yeah, I hear you.
But 1980, I mean, interest rates were what, 18%?
Yeah, 15% anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, I know prime rate was up at 20% at some point.
It's you're not wrong. There are definitely factors that could have contributed it to the economy being a little bit unstable, but I think the fundamentals hadn't really changed. I'm not sure what was causing interest rates to rise that high. We also had the savings and loan situation, and that could have contributed. I think that goes back to that period of time, doesn't it? I don't remember.
Well, actually, the reason the interest rates were so high was Paul Volcker came in and raised them to kill inflation from the 70s.
Right? Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Did it work?
It did. It did work. Yeah.
Well,
I mean, it's probably what we should have done this time around, but.
So Virginia, good to see you. He said fewer outside forces has had a bigger effect. This time there are many influences. No one influence is going to solve the problem. The Hunt brothers are not going away this time. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think like the interesting thing that I came across recently, and I saw it somebody else's video, and I've looked it up a little bit, and um, it's interesting to me that China has gone from one of the top exporters to they're going to turn around and become one of the top hoarders.
Right
And
after
that was
January
announced in
1st,
like
right?
October. And if you think about it, from October until now, silver's gone up over 50%. So I mean, that has to be a major factor in it if in my thinking.
Well, it definitely takes a lot of silver off the market, right?
I mean, when they announced that they announced it in October, and they announced it to start January 1st. Well, that just meant that everybody, their brother and their mother from every other country said, well, okay, they just started buying to, get ahead of that situation. And I think maybe that's what's driving it in some aspect right now. I mean, I could be wrong, but I mean, everything points to that. They announce it in October and the price shoots 50% within that time frame. And I know
Yeah.
there's a lot of, I don't know, the whole people all say, and I saw Thousandaire say something about it. It's just adjusting for um inflation or catching up. My brother always says it's just catching up to gold, but it doesn't have to catch up to gold.
Mm,
Thousandaire said, adjusted for inflation, I don't think this rise is unprecedented. And
totally
who's
agree.
to say it has to adjust for inflation though? It doesn't. I mean, I guess in one aspect it does, but I don't. I'm not a professional. I haven't been stacking as long as most people in here, but just the whole China thing seems like an interesting situation to me.
Yeah, it's definitely a factor, but you got a lot of other factors kicking in. Right now, we got the most debt we've ever had, debt to GDP, 130%.
Yeah.
Back in 2011, I'm not sure what it was. I think it was in the mid 50 range. And then it was only 30% back in 1980. So that wasn't a factor. Um, Interest rates, like I said, were super high back in the 80s. You had a no economy, no real estate, and no stock market in 2011. It was just starting to make a recovery, but um, these things, those type of factors haven't even hit this market yet. And retail hasn't even hit this market yet. That's why I think it's going way, way higher.
That doesn't bode well for the economy, though.
Yeah, but the economy's screwed either way. It's not gonna cause it, it's just a symptom of it, you know?
No, that's definitely true. Right.
Yeah.
So it's not like I'm afraid of the price of precious metals going up. I just wonder what that means. It's a harbinger for worse conditions in the country, and that's not something that I really want to see. You're right. I can't stop playing with my gold.
No, nobody wants to see the world go down the tubes, but if it's gotta go down the tubes, I mean, I'm glad to be sitting on some metals as opposed to cash or whatever, or nothing. Because
Yeah.
there's a lot of people with nothing.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
that's true. That's true. That's a good way to look at it.
Very true. Silver State says Mexico and Peru are not closing mines. They are issuing new open pit leases. Yeah, and I mean, why wouldn't they? Why not?
Yeah, but
But
doesn't it take like 5 to 10 years to get an open pit mine going? Am I wrong on that? But that's what I've heard. It takes between 5 and 10 years to get an open pit mine opened up and ready to produce.
yeah, sounds right. But another thing is those countries, Mexico and Peru, you know where they're sending that silver? And actually the not even the silver itself, but the ore, like they're not even refining it. They're sending that ore over to China, and China's
Yeah.
the one refining the ore, and they're the ones that are just taking it all in. Um, I mean, we don't have the best relations with Mexico if what I've been reading is true. So who's to say they want to send us any of their silver?
Mm.
Yeah, that's
I
true. They're
mean,
just going to sidestep us. FG Stacker says, "Do I ever watch Midsummer?" I've tried. I think that's not one of the shows that I tend to watch. I don't think, if I'm thinking of the right show. We're
I
not
don't
talking
know. I'm
about
just
precious metals. We're talking about what I like to watch on television. Come on, guys.
Thousandaire says the gold to ammo ratio is at 5 stars right now. I'm sure it is. I haven't been to the range in a long time, so my um, ammo supply has still stayed steady. So I need to go to the range and restock ammo both at the same time. That'd be fun.
That's reminded me. That's how Blue Collar knows that I'm not in the what is it? The organization, the business, the whatever they call the CIA, because I showed a 45 rather than a 10 millimeter.
That's it.
I thought you were a CZ guy. That was a Glock you showed.
That was a Glock I showed. I've got a whole bunch of nasty. I just haven't shown it.
Yeah, I thought you had mentioned CZ at one time, so I was surprised when I saw that Glock on there.
No, so the CZs are CZ52s. Those are, Cold War era pieces.
Oh, I should have known historical pieces. Yes.
Yeah.
Of course.
You don't own too much modern stuff. I should have known that.
When it comes to pew-pews, I own probably more modern. Let me reflect on that. Probably not true. Probably 50-50.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. As long as they're in good condition, working order, that's good. Yeah, so I mean that's just my thought with the whole prices and everything. And a big question, and I just saw it in the comments quite a bit. Everybody's asking about the dip and will there be a dip, what the dip will be, when it will be. And that's what's sort of, you're never going to be able to time the dip of course, but how big of a dip? That's the major question. How big? Because we all know, or we all should know, maybe we don't all know, but hopefully we've learned, or we do know that things can't always just go straight up. I believe there was a song that says what goes up must come down, right?
Absolutely.
So I mean, it's just what are your guys' thoughts on that? A dip, when a dip, what a dip, how big of a dip?
Well, I know Thousandair watches Gareth Soloway. He was saying today in his latest video that he thinks 64, 65, it's only about a 7 or 8% dip on the way. High
I watched his
probability
video
of that.
too, yeah.
What's that?
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Yeah, I watched his video this morning too. You turned me onto that channel, and that's one of my go-tos now.
Yeah, great. He's really good. Very straightforward, very technical. Not a lot
What
of
are your
hype.
thoughts though? Like, I mean,
Well, my thoughts?
yeah, your thoughts. Some people
My
like to
thoughts
hear your
don't matter.
thoughts, you know?
I'm
Why
just
not?
saying, hey, I'm a pray and spray guy. You know what I mean? I just hope it keeps going up. I'm okay with it. I'm fine with it. If silver was $200 right now, I'd be okay with it.
Of course.
Would you sell?
Would I sell?
Yeah.
I've always said I probably wouldn't sell unless I was starving. Okay.
That's fair.
It's like a safety net that if all else fails, I've got that. That's the way I look at it.
Thousandair says, how it's the time of dip, you just look for hockey stick charts. Interesting. Nubsy, what are your thoughts on a dip? If a dip, when a dip, how big a dip?
There are some YouTubers who have been poo-pooing the idea of dollar cost averaging recently. And I have always kind of maintained that that's one of the best ways, especially if you're not going to try to pay attention to charts. If you don't go to these YouTube channels that have, charts and analysis and that kind of stuff, it makes sense to dollar cost average. And that way, when the price of gold or silver drops down, you're exposing yourself, you're buying more of it. When the price goes up, as long as you're dollar cost averaging, that's keeping a same amount of money at a regular interval. Then you're exposing yourself to less precious metals when the price is higher. So it's a really simple thing to do. So for that reason, if you are in a position where you are buying consistently, then dollar cost averaging would tell you it doesn't really matter if there's a dip or not. Always put in that same amount of cash at that regular interval. And that way you're not going to try to catch a falling knife or anything like that.
Makes sense.
Right. That does make sense.
Now, when you say dollar cost averaging, are you a purist on that? Like, would you say, all right, I'm using a rough number, but say on your budget, it's probably like I'm only going to buy 20,000 a month in metals.
That would be a pretty slow month. If it was me, if I was dollar cost averaging, which I haven't done in a very long time, but I did it for a long time. I'm a mature stacker, so like I said, you'll see my additions to my stack in the upcoming video in the next week or two for this quarter, and it's a relatively small amount. And in that case, I'm not dollar cost averaging. But when you dollar cost average, you have to be a purist. You have to stick to it. Otherwise, there's no reason to do it. If you
Yeah,
don't,
otherwise it's technically not dollar
right,
cost averaging.
exactly. That's exactly right. And that blows the entire thing. If you're not going to do it, don't do it. If you're going to do it, you have to be consistent. You have to stick to it.
There you
go. Chris in Virginia, I put a link to that channel. Sober Stacker also was asking what channel was it. It's a channel that Blue Collar actually turned me on to. So he does the charts, which it's a good thing to look at. I'm not professional or any good at reading charts, but he breaks it down. He usually goes over gold, silver. Sometimes he'll throw in platinum and palladium in towards the end of his videos. He does stocks. He does crypto as well, but he breaks it down as far as the chart, which finds it. He put some fundamental to it a little bit, I guess you could say.
I think I've just put out 15 ounces of gold and 4 ounces of platinum.
Baller status. Bryce Cooley, gold and silver are hard to get. You could technically build a gold mine by starting an e-waste recycling business. Did you know over 1 trillion worth of precious metals end up in landfills?
Now, when you say precious metals, are you talking about gold? Because I always thought gold got fully recycled, or as close as you can get to fully recycled.
I bet with things like cell phones and e-waste, they don't use nearly as much gold as they used to. But when you extrapolate that to millions and millions of units being tossed in the garbage, I bet there's some serious gold in there. But the problem is just like, the amount of gold that they say is in seawater. It's just not practical to mine it because it's in such a small concentration.
Right.
At some point, though, it might come to be where they're going to go for it.
Well, there's a lot of money in that. I know I came very close didn't get the job, but I came very close to building a house for a guy, about 30-year-old guy. Made all his money doing just that, recycling e-waste, and the guy had stacks of cash.
That's weird.
Yeah.
I mean, if you find the right way to do it, I'm sure there's money in it, That's what Street Tips does, right? Street Tips does that type of stuff.
I don't think it's quite as lucrative as it used to. Like I said, I think there's a lot of it. I mean, they've cycled out of a lot of it, so they're not using quite as much as they used to, anywhere near as much as they used to. But Street Tips even does stuff where he goes and buys gold jewelry and stuff like that. When people know that it's gold jewelry, he's probably getting it at a pretty good price, but it doesn't really matter to him because the whole point of his shows, his videos, is to recycle.
Right. Training with Lions says, anyone here is still waiting for a pullback? Chris in Virginia sold today for some gold. Very nice.
Yeah, looks like that's a common thing right now, right? That seems to be something that people in the chat are saying. They're trading or they're selling silver to buy gold.
And I think that's a lot of people's situation, though. And I mean, a lot of people are gonna turn to that with the gold to silver ratio closing. With the math I was doing, I think though, at a 67, I think I ran it at like $67, $68 silver. With what they're going to pay you and what they're going to charge you, it ends up being, when the gold ratio was at like 65, I did it, and it would almost be 70, 71 at LCS prices. Which, I mean, it's still you're ahead, because when you bought your silver, I'm sure it was still cheaper than it is now. So, I mean, even at a 70-to-1 ratio, that ratio is still good in my eyes.
Yeah,
I know there's better ways to go about it, but if you're in a hurry or impatient or want to do it the easy way, then that's where the LCSs are doing their thing.
Dub C, if you were going to sell, Dub, let's say you were going to do a ratio trade, right? What would be your method? How would you do it?
Man, I don't know.
How would you negotiate it? In other words, like your coin shop. Would you accept $5 to $7 back on silver?
No, not in the trade. Definitely not.
Yeah.
So I was just contemplating if this is, it's kind of funny that you asked me that, because I was thinking I like the idea of moving a little bit more into 3/9 or 4/9 fine gold. And a little bit has it's a little bit of that is because we saw this recent thing with refiners being a little bit iffy when it comes to 90% and even 22 karat gold stuff. So I was thinking my favorite 3.9s, 4.9s fine gold vehicle is the Buffalo. And I don't have a single Buffalo. You guys see that I've got 5 Krugerrands sitting here. So what would I do? I was just thinking about the ratio of silver that I'd be willing to trade for it. I would expect it to be a straight swap or very, very close to it.
Yeah, and I feel the same way, and I would go in there and I would say, "Okay, let's start at spot for spot, and now tell me what you want as a premium."
Yeah.
I wouldn't let them say to me, "I'm gonna give you 5 back and charge you 3 or 4% over."
Right.
on
They're
the
not
gold.
going to make it coming and going. I know a lot of
No.
dealers do that. I've talked about that sometimes, but you know,
They'll do
they
it to
have
you
to be
all
able
day
to make
long if you let them.
yeah, they have to make a living and you have to expect that there's going to be some give and take. But you know, for me, I would be trading pretty good quality silver. You know, we're talking name brands and we're talking probably vintage stuff.
Yeah.
So, and I would consider to be a gold buffalo, it would have to be a pretty nice gold buffalo. This has got to be an original mint packaging, that kind of thing. But so I would expect it to be pretty close to a straight swap.
Right. And even if it is a straight swap, you know they're gonna tack on a buck or 2 to the silver, and you know they didn't pay spot on the gold. So they
Exactly.
already
Right.
made their money in
Right.
that
They're
trade?
making their money. Sure.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
guys, I'm sorry if I'm lulling you guys to sleep. I don't mean to. It is pretty funny that I've started putting ASMR in some of my hashtags for my videos just because I wind up making myself fall asleep while I'm listening to them.
Yeah, I think we're doing pretty good. We got 51 people in here. Well, just dropped to 47.
We're doing good. See, hey, I would like to. I don't know. Maybe it's just my market or the market out here or whatever. But I don't think a swap to swap or a 1-to-1 would work out here.
Yeah, but you never asked. You're not gonna
Right. Right.
get that unless you go in there and you tell them what you want.
Yeah, you got to know what you have and know what you have is pretty good stuff. And if that's the case, you'll probably do okay. But you know, are people buying gold right now versus buying silver? It seems like still people are really buying more silver than gold. I do like everybody in the chat saying they're swapping too. So I don't know. Maybe that's the deal. Maybe it's getting a little bit tighter. Maybe there's a little bit more gold going out right now than there is silver coming in.
I know, like, we were watching Vermilion this morning.
Yeah.
Who's got the echo? Vermilion this morning said he had a lot of people actually swapping silver for gold
Yeah.
this weekend. He said he was overloaded on fractional gold because so many people were coming in there with gold to pick up silver, which I found
Really?
really interesting.
Really? That's interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe they
Yeah.
know something I don't know.
Yeah, you know,
Well,
I don't
they know that the GSR in the last 2 spikes was 30 in 2011 and probably 17 in 1980. I know we don't like to talk about 1980, Hunt Brothers and all that, but it is what it is.
yeah.
So
I mean, that's just an interesting move, but like you said, and people are more bullish on silver right now, I guess. So they see I don't know if it's just maybe they're seeing the $100 silver, so they're eyeing that price and not thinking of anything else besides that. But it's interesting.
Yeah,
yeah.
that's crazy. $100 silver. Who would have thought it? Everybody has talked about it. Everybody has imagined it. And you know, there are lots of people who've been saying silver is going to skyrocket to $100, and I've been laughing the entire time. And now, I don't know. I've stopped laughing.
Yeah,
It's
Cartier says
remember-
just keep buying. You can't go wrong. I don't know about that, but
So
yeah,
we're
I don't
stackering.
think I don't think you're in as
I
much danger if you're trading back and forth. During periods when it's super high like this, I think you're better off with a trade than a straight buy. But that's just my opinion.
I like that
the,
idea.
the Punisher Stacker says newbie question: how can you tell which one is talking?
can.
Dubsy has the deep voice. I am the Vegas Stacker, and then Blue Collar has the East Coast accent.
Yeah, I'm the one that has a frog in his throat. I got my voice is shot, man.
There you go.
That's me.
Training with Lion says he's starting to love the Buffaloes.
Love the Buffaloes.
If I shut the camera off now, my logo is pulsing, so you can tell, hey, that's blue collar.
My logo's pulsing too.
Here, I'll shake my camera when I talk.
Pulsing
Everybody will
logo.
start getting sick. Yeah, Silver Dragoon says, but yeah, StreamYard should highlight the speaker. I agree. That'd be a smart way to do it.
That would
Maybe
be
someday they're making new changes, progressing. So maybe someday they will get to that.
Chris in Virginia says, should I stop buying Eagles from you? I don't know. I think you were happy with the price of them. I don't have any Eagles in stock, but I'm going to go tomorrow and hopefully load up on them.
Chris in Virginia says, how about your generic for American Gold Eagles? Still want to do a straight spot swap. I think that's what we were just talking about. Sorry, I'm way back on the chat now.
Guys are saying that we just hit 70 for silver.
Really? I got the. Let me see.
No, I don't. Oh yeah, we did. It hasn't printed that trade yet, but it is. The ask is 70.03.
I got
But
it
it hasn't printed 70 yet.
I got 69.91.
Insane.
I mean, it's maybe these people would trading their gold for silver might be doing the right thing. I don't know.
Yeah, but if you notice, gold's keeping up, right? Silver is up 1.34, gold is up 1.18, so it's not gaining any ground right now.
We had some interesting news come out. I don't know if you saw that last tanker that we seized from Venezuela actually had Chinese oil on it.
How would Chinese oil get to Venezuela?
It wasn't getting to Venezuela. It was coming from Venezuela.
But again, how did it even get there in the first place? I mean, Chinese, we mean like going to China?
Going to China.
Okay.
Like China had paid for that tanker's worth of oil and America seized it. And they're not too happy about that.
Oh, I don't imagine they would be. That's not a good thing. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just 15 miles from Venezuela the other day.
I've been to Aruba before.
Yeah. Aruba is like 15 miles from the coast of Venezuela.
Yeah, I don't remember being able to see Venezuela from there. I made a habit of going to the Caribbean for vacations for a few years in a row, and turns out that it wasn't really my thing. I like the American Southwest a lot better, but Aruba was beautiful. There's no denying.
Oh yeah, Aruba, certain parts of it, even the rundown parts are decent. They got some serious health benefits and everything else there. They're doing all right over there.
They're doing okay. Loved
Yeah.
St. Kitts and Nevis, and that was before the cruise ships started docking there. No offense, blue collar.
Yeah. All right.
Silver Dragoon says Vegas has a voice trying to convince you to re-up
What did I
the.
do?
That's hilarious. Platinum just hit 2,200, and it dipped a little. It dipped.
Dip.
So is there a price? You guys are saying that there's not a price that you would sell, even theoretical. Silver goes to $120, $150 an ounce. Gold at $6,000 an ounce. You're not selling.
My looking at it, and I've again blue collar and I text all the time, and I was talking about this. I don't know. I don't know if I would sell, and it's not because I'm a diamond hands. I'm holding forever, but it's not a necessity. It's not. My stacking is more of like a hobby to me.
Yeah.
It's not. I'm not doing it for 401. I'm not doing it as a retirement plan. I'm not doing it. I'm mainly doing it as like a savings account / hobby. So, if it hit a certain amount, I don't know. I mean, at some point you do have to take some profits, but it's one of those things where I'm not objective to holding it until I'm 60 or 70 years old and just take it down to the coin shop a little at a time, if I need some money for something.
Shiny Silver, thanks for joining us. Merry Christmas. Get some sleep.
I'm not in a situation where I really need to sell, so I don't know if I would. I mean, who knows though?
He's got the chain out. 5 ounces?
This is both chains, so this is 7 ounces.
Oh, yeah.
So now,
My thoughts on that whole will you sell theory. I I don't have to sell right now, but if I had to sell, I would sell. But I still think the whole ratio thing, and I know you guys get sick of hearing it, but if I had gold at 100 to 1 and traded it to silver and it dips down to 30 to 1, I just made 70 ounces for every ounce of gold that I swing back to.
yeah, that's true.
Free silver.
Yeah.
How do you lose? You can't lose. It doesn't cost you $1 to move it from one side to the other.
If you can find a dealer that'll work with you.
Well, no, even if you pay a little bit of premium, okay? Say you pay 5% premium. You know, we don't like to calculate, but if seriously, look at it this way. Let's round the numbers off. At 100 to 1, 2 ounces of gold is 200 ounces of silver.
Yeah.
Right now, that same 2 ounces of gold is 128. So the 72 ounces that are left over are pure profit margin. Right or wrong?
Yeah, no, that's definitely true.
Yeah. So, I mean, you trade high, you wait till it goes down low, you trade low, you wait till it goes back up, and you trade again. Just keep swapping it back and forth.
It's interesting enough that I should probably consider doing it with, 5 ounces of gold.
If for no other reason, it would make a good video.
If I had your stack, Dub,
You can have
if I had your pockets, isn't that what my brother told me the other day? With your money, I would do this.
I'm just a
Dub C
stacker.
talks about 5 ounces of gold like it's so many nickels and dimes in his pocket.
Well, if I emptied out my change in my pocket, if I used my walk around gold, I could do it.
You're walking around gold.
That's like I was gonna go to the coin shop, so I had a tube with some 1/10 ounce gold pieces and then a couple that were in capsules. I was like, that's what I felt. I put it in my pocket. I'm like, man, this is like some walking around gold.
It's fun to be in this position when I was stacking this stuff and everybody thought I was crazy for doing it. It's wild. That's what's so crazy for me, because this stuff, it was like you said, this is fun. This is a hobby. This isn't something that I definitely needed to, it's not that my life depends on it. And I'm super, super glad when we have periods of economic uncertainty that I've got this stuff. But when I'm looking at it, I don't really, it doesn't really feel that real. And when you see those prices, that's what really kicks you. It's so crazy.
Now, Dub, do you keep a detailed spreadsheet of your holdings?
Yeah.
So when you change that spot price number and all those numbers go up, that's got to make you feel good.
It doesn't really. It doesn't really register because I don't ever sell and I don't trade, obviously, either. So I'm just.
But it's still. I mean, you look at you hold stocks, you hold land. You look at the price, the current price, and you know what you paid for it.
Yeah.
It doesn't make you feel good.
It doesn't. It honestly does not. When I sold that stuff earlier this week, like I said, there was an emotional attachment to it, and it helped to sell some of that to get over that a little bit. And as I said to you guys before we went live, there are no regrets. I don't, this isn't something that I even am thinking twice about now, but it doesn't mean anything to me. So it's literally just, you're right. It's just changing one cell in Microsoft Excel file, and I can see exactly how much I've got in gold, silver, and platinum and everything else. But it honestly, it doesn't register. I mean, I've seen it go up and down so often that it's just, one more data point, and it really doesn't make any difference.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I have we're gonna flip the question. We're talking about selling. When would you sell if you would sell? At what point? And I think I know a little bit on your end, Dub C, but at what point would you stop buying? I know, Dub C, since you've been in it longer, you said you slowed down with this price at where it is because it's hard for you to look at paying what they want right now as opposed to what you used to pay for it. But at what price do you stop buying gold or buying silver or buying platinum? I mean, is there a point when you're like, okay, I'm not buying anymore? Or
yeah, I mean, I think it's, for me, it's coming really soon. I'm in a strange position because I buy interesting things. And interesting things I'm always going to be willing to pay a premium for, but I'm just not sure that I feel okay buying silver at $75 an ounce.
Yeah.
Yeah, West Texas said, let you in a little secret there. Shops aren't paying spot. Well, we all know that, but I think a lot of us could probably do better if we negotiated a little bit better. I mean, I would walk away before I'd get 5 to 7 back.
I sold it 5 back, or almost 5 back, a little bit less than 5 back.
Yeah, but you're a soft touch.
That's true. You're right.
Even okay, West Texas, I get your point. Yeah, the coin shops are paying $5 to $8 back, but most people, if they're selling, they're up. I mean, if you bought before October, you're up 50% on your purchase. So even the $5 to $8 back they're paying you, you're still in the profits. There's a YouTuber that I watch, and they always say, if you take profit, you never lose money by taking profits.
Mm.
I think that's this blue collar stacker. I think always says that one.
I think my father used to say that, so I just repeated it.
Yeah,
I repeat it from you, but I mean that's you're right about that. I mean, yeah, you're only going to get what it's only worth what somebody's going to pay for it, and there's a lot of outlets out there to sell. Now, if you're not in a hurry to sell your gold or your silver or your platinum, you could list it on PMs for sale right now, and I'm sure you could get it spot. If you listed it on PMs for sale, put spot deal. Even if you wanted to do free shipping, you could do free shipping. I'm sure they would be willing to pay shipping and get it at spot. I'm sure you would blow through what you wanted to sell. Along with Pure Metals, you can go on Pure Metals and put it on there. Blue Collar sent me somebody's listing, I believe it was, that sold a chunk of, what was it, 50 ounces, I think, right?
Yeah, it was 50 ounces for 33.30 or 33.30.
Yeah.
So it was about 66 and change an ounce.
Yeah, so
that was a good deal.
If you're not in a hurry to, if it's not a necessity, you're not in a hurry to sell your precious metals, you're willing to go that extra step, there are ways to get spot price for your precious metals, I think.
There are risks associated with any way that you sell, though. If you're talking about selling online, you do have shipping fees, you have handling fees, you've got clearance fees, you've got the potential that something could get lost in the mail. So even if you're using something like PMs on Reddit, or if you're selling through something like eBay, there are fees associated with selling on eBay. So does it make sense to put the time, the effort, the energy, and the fees into selling online versus walking into your local coin shop who's buying from you 4 or 5 back of melt for silver when you can get the money right then and there?
All right, but if you have 100 ounces like you did, so if you got 5 back, and he just sells that at spot, he made 500 just on that side of the deal.
Yeah, there's no doubt.
Now flip it over to the gold side. I mean, that guy made $1,000 in 5 minutes. That's obscene.
That guy took a gamble buying from me, first off, but also with the idea that they were going to continue to sell it. I was gambling that silver is going to stay at it where it is now, at least with that portion of my stack, or that it could even come down. And it did. Right after I sold, silver dropped. Now it's back up again, but it did drop. So I was like any kind of time you're dealing with a commodity, I was gambling that the price was going to fall. They were gambling that the price was going to go up. They might have won this time. But like Vegas was talking about earlier, I bought this stuff cheap, real cheap. So it's not like I lost money selling it, but at least now I have been able to convert a little bit of that money. So if the price does bottom, I'm not going to feel bad about having sold some. If it continues to go up, that's great. I've got plenty of silver. I've got plenty of gold.
Now, the stuff that you sold him, right?
Yeah.
If you went in there to buy that stuff from him, what would he charge you for it?
Probably a reasonably high premium. The stuff that I sold would probably be $2 or $3, maybe $4 an ounce for silver.
So
premium.
you can safely assume that he would sell that to someone else for the same price. So if he bought it from you for 5 back, and laid it off on John Q. Public for a spot even.
But
He's up
if
$500.
they sold it, right? If they sold it, and if the price didn't drop between when they bought it from me and when they sold it, it's always a risk. It's always a gamble. There's no guarantee somebody who's going to come in and buy that stuff. And I haven't been to the shop since I went through that process. So for all I know, they've moved everything. They might have shipped it off to one of their distributors. But they took a gamble that they were going to be able to sell it, and maybe they did, maybe they haven't yet.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to ask. Like with the sale that size, like you said, you're selling 100 ounces. Is that something like a coin shop would call their refiner first to see what kind of price they could lock in? Or
Not my
since it was
dealer.
more,
They move
it was
that
more
kind of volume, several times a day. That's really no big deal for most established dealers can take on that kind of inventory with no problem.
Yeah, I mean, OJ's a small dealer, and he's bringing a couple of $100,000 to the refiner every week.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah,
Cyber
that's
1777
not,
says
that's
anonymous
not a lot.
transactions. There's something to that too, right? There are benefits to selling locally, even if you are selling back of melt. But you guys are bringing up really, really good issues, and this is something that I think the people in the chat, the people that are listening to us, can have this discussion inside their own mind, whether or not it's time for them to sell or buy. We're talking about all of those reasons to go one way or another, and I think it's a really valuable thing to listen to this conversation if you are in a position where you're thinking about buying or you're thinking about selling, to hear all of these pros and cons from people who know really well what we're talking about.
And I mean, to touch a little bit on West Texas's, don't forget to smash the like button, please, folks. Greatly appreciate it. But to touch on West Texas's point a little bit too is, yeah, they're paying 5 to 8 back a spot, but it's like one of those things too. Like when you go to buy, you're not buying it at spot neither. These coin shops, they have to make money. They have overhead, and that's not to say you have to give up or you have to make all their profits for them, but there's a give and take on each end, I think. But I mean, just to touch on that point, even when you buy it, you're not buying it at spot. Spot is just a measurement that is, what is spot used for actually? That's paper transactions, right?
Yeah, it's almost arbitrary. Like I say all the time, spot is local. It's whatever the price is when you're in the store. That's what spot is.
Yeah. So your local market drives your local spot price more than your Kitco price.
Yeah, I think to a large degree, and that seems to be what West Texas was saying. He sold 3 bars and they're still sitting right there. So did that dealer pay too much for them? Is there just not enough transactions going on? Are people not interested in that product? That's the gamble.
What is he trying to sell them for, though? What does he have them marked up at? You know what I mean? Is he trying to sell them for $3 or $4 over in a market where if he put them out at spot, he'd sell them?
That's on them. That's their business. That's their business model. That's the way they're transacting. It's not.
Yeah, but that's why I like Vermilion's business model, right? He shows you his spread. He tells you this is what I'm paying, and there's no negotiating. That's what he pays, and this is what you can buy it for. He's going
straight volume. He's going straight volume. He doesn't give he doesn't care. You don't want it. You don't want it. You don't want it. See ya.
Right. No, but my point is he sells so much volume because of that reason.
Right.
I think that comes down to a business model, right? That seems to be an effective business model, but not every dealer works that way. And I think that that's the best way to do business. You buy at a reasonable price below spot or at spot, and you sell at a reasonable price above spot or at spot, depending on who you are. But those dealers who try to buy $5 back of spot and then sell $5 ahead of spot with every transaction, they're struggling. That's not the way to run this kind of business. They might be successful for a short period of time, but you're going to piss off buyers, you're going to piss off sellers, and they're going to find out that if they've got another option, they're not going to come to your shop anymore.
And honestly, they deserve to struggle.
Yeah.
And they deserve to get weeded out, as far as I'm concerned.
And they probably will. But West Texas said $1 over and that seems reasonable right now, as long as it was a pretty good product. $1 over a spot, $1 over melt doesn't, that would be fine. I would be okay with that if that's what I was after.
Right. So if he got paid 4 back, that's a $5 spread.
Yeah, right. But they're taking the risk too, though. I mean, everybody's talking about the dump, the dump, the dump, you know, the dip, the dip, the dip. So if they buy $4 back and it dips $10, well, now what?
They're
Well,
kind
what
of
if they buy it $4 back and it goes up like the last 3 days, $5?
Listen,
Then they're
you
making
can
money.
what if all night long if you want to.
No, I know, but you can't just look at the negative side. If you're gonna what if, you got to what if on both sides. It averages out over time.
You're
They're a
absolutely
casino.
right. Right.
The coin shops are the casino. That's all it is. They're taking a gamble.
They're taking a gamble. That's all I'm saying is that they're gambling with it. It may
Yeah.
go up. Right now, it has gone up. But like I say, I've been doing this long enough that I've seen this stuff crash and burn. And when silver was the last high that it had, 39 or 45 or whatever it was in 2018. And then it dropped precipitously. It really did. It just about collapsed. If you were a dealer that was holding that and you had paid cash money for it, you were hosed. I mean, that was kind of the kind of thing that could really end your business.
Well, that's where Vermilion's model, he doesn't hold it for a week and bring it to the refinery at the end of the week. He locks in every single day, and he's sending stuff out every day.
I mean, that's a safe
you're
way to
limiting
play it,
your
for sure.
chance of getting screwed that way.
Yeah, but you're
That
also
gold
probably
had-
not making tons of money.
I'm sorry.
Well, yeah, that's like I think he said at one point he was making like on a gold eagle, a 1 ounce gold eagle, he's making like $15. You know, so he doesn't, you know, he's not making the $100, $200 per eagle. He's making $15, and he goes through however many eagles, and he's good. You know.
Yeah. Well,
Stack That
his
Gold
spread
made a good.
on gold, I think, is what is it, 3% or 2%? If you do the
it's
math
not
on
much.
that, that's he buys for $1 back and he sells for 1% back, and he sells for 2% over on buffaloes and eagles. So
That seems
3%.
reasonable, right? That's
So he's
3%
happy
is
making 3%.
$140 now.
Chesapeake Brian, Bay Brian, Steve Bassett, thank you for being here. Golden Dragonfly training with Lions. Thank you for all the comments you've been making. We are reading these comments, but these guys are idiots, and I've got to try to talk them down from the ledge, right? Reckless Collections, Jay Heilbeck, thank you for being here. Shep Celsius, as always, man, thank you so much. Sober Stacker, I tried to say, talking over my compatriots here, that I think I hadn't subscribed to your channel. Just did a couple days ago. You might have to check me on that. Mike for Democracy, good to see you. Just wanted to give a shout out to everybody who's paying attention to us, Pajama Stacking. If you have not liked and subscribed to our hosts tonight, that is Vegas Stacker and Blue Collar, go ahead and click on that subscription button, visit their channels, pay attention to what they have to say. This is a lot of fun. If you are in the stacking community, we're seeing some ridiculous swings in the market. The fact that precious metals are up so high right now makes me feel good and makes me feel bad simultaneously. I just wanted to give everybody a chance to take a quick breath, and we will be doing the Dark Wave songs of. Oh, wait a second. No, that's not right, is it?
No.
Thanks, Doug.
Thank you,
Yeah,
86
I've been trying to keep up with that, but the conversation's been going good, so it's good. Stack That Gold says low profit margin, high turnover is the way coin shops operate. Yeah, that is
high
true.
volume. Yeah, for sure.
And where did I see it? Steve Bassett actually said Vermilion a year ago kept saying silver is dead.
Right, he did. But you know, it's like anything else. That seems like a very common thing in this business, that they change their mind daily. You know,
I am glad you guys kid that I own a brick and mortar shop. That's not true. I have kind of business dealings with several of them, but I am really glad that I'm not in that position. I tell you what, though, if you are running a good business right now, if you are doing the volume that some of my local shops are doing, they are making money hand over fist right now. So they don't have a problem with this. They are seeing higher risk, higher reward. I would not want to be in a position where I would be left holding the bag on some of the days when I've seen the volume of stuff that's come into their shops.
Yeah.
Because you know they don't sleep at night. They're thinking about what happens if I wake up in the morning and silver is down $5 or $8 an ounce, or gold is down $50 or $100 an ounce. I wouldn't want to be in that position. But you have to
imagine their stress levels right now during all this situation is pretty crazy.
I mean, you know, it's a gamble. They're making so much money if they're running their businesses well right now. but it's got to be keeping them up at night. I wouldn't want to be in this position. That would freak me out. It would be tough.
Well,
The Punisher
anybody
Stacker.
that's making money, and in a business, a high pressure business, it's full of stress. But that's the price you pay.
That's the nature of the business, right? If
Yeah.
they're in the shops and they're making the trades that they should be making, hopefully they're protecting themselves. I know that a couple of my local dealers, one dealer that I deal with the most, has got really deep reserves. So, and that's just kind of not even part of their inventory. It's really their own personal holdings. So they can tap into it if they need to. So they've got that kind of strategic reserve within their own business. I don't think a lot of guys work that way, though.
Just real quick, the Punisher Stacker, that's actually not the vegan stacker, it's actually Dub C, and I posted his link in the channel description there.
I appreciate that. I think you might have known that. If you didn't know, I am Dub C Coins and Precious Metals.
When I was in Indiana in August, I was talking to one of my brother's local coin shops, and they were new to the coin shop business. They didn't really know too much about it or anything. They weren't using a refinery or a wholesaler. They were just buying, holding, and selling. So whatever came over the counter and whatever went out the counter. But it's like, I was talking to the lady for a little while, and I was like, listen, I'm not trying to tell you what to do, but just, she was real nice and she asked advice. I was talking to her for quite a while, and I told her about a wholesaler out of Chicago, because they're like half hour from Chicago. And I'm like, this is what you got to do. This is what most coin shops, they have somebody that they can dump it on. She said they had so much gold they couldn't buy anymore, and they were just in a dangerous situation. And I'm like, listen, I know you guys are doing well right now because the prices are going up, but
exactly,
if you don't have the people coming in here to buy it. And my brother was in there recently, and she said they were turning people away, and it's like, you can't, I don't think you can turn people away and expect them to come back to you.
No.
I mean, they're in a nice area where people have nice things, and they're pretty well off, and it's a wealthy community, but you still, it's dangerous to run a business that way. So, and then he went in there a couple weeks ago, and they said that, yeah, they were getting ready to send some stuff off. And I'm like, what do you mean send some? You can have somebody, have a driver take this shit. I'm like, that's crazy to have to send it. I know you don't. She said she looked it up the one time, and it looked like in a bad area, and she wasn't sure if it was a scam or not. But I'm like,
whatever.
Her father's business and her brother's business now is their firearms business. So I'm like, well,
oh, okay.
Have somebody with a firearm, or you can have protection go with you. I know it's Chicago and their gun laws are different, but sometimes you just have to. I don't know. It's just interesting. But I hope
you can also ship it. You can ship it. You can mail it.
Yeah, you can next day air it. You can red label it.
But I mean, to skip over all that headache, it's a half-hour drive. It's not.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Totally. Yeah.
I mean, it's their business, so whatever. But I mean, just to fix your overhead and everything. But I guess it's family business and family shop. So.
Yeah, I think you were saying that they basically were just working off dad's money, and they, had more money than brains, maybe.
Yeah, it was her dad started the firearm business, I mean, 30 years ago. They were big into firearms in that area, and they just started the new shop, and it was sort of a venture that they took on with the coin shop above the gun shop. They opened a coin shop above it. So I don't know if the dad was maybe a stacker at one time in the precious metals, or maybe it was just like something that came to fruition with prepper type community, because they also have where you can get like beef and meat. Right.
I remember you talking about those people. That's a weird situation.
One-stop shop.
Yeah, and now they actually have. So the main level, you go in, you can get beef right there in the cooler. One of the guys that works at the coin shop is actually the butcher. He's actually like the farmer that raises the cattle. You go to the right, you have the firearm sections, ammo, whatever you need firearms related. And then now they have on the other side, the left side, is actually safes. So they've ventured off into the safe business as well. And then you go upstairs, and that's where the coin shop is.
Hmm.
Which is interesting because you never had to be buzzed in to go into the coin shop. Because I mean, why would you when you have that type of setup? But I guess my brother said now you have to be buzzed in. So with the price of precious metals going up, maybe they feel less
Yeah.
secure.
Yeah. Well, like if the coin shop is upstairs, if somebody goes up and robs the coin shop, they got to get through the firearms section to get out, you know?
Yeah, one little stomp on
Pretty
the
good
floor or
setup.
press of a button. Yeah, I don't know.
It's like,
Hey,
yeah,
I'm
you
a
can
gun
go
talker.
rob the coin shop, but you ain't getting out the door, dude.
Well, I guess they had a situation. My brother said that she had said they had a situation with the gun shop. So somebody might have tried to break into the gun shop.
Kalilo
Yeah,
says, question for the panel. What is the most likely next black swan, meaning the thing that they blame costs on? You're talking about the precious metals market? You're talking about the silver market in particular?
Good question. Emperor Wang says, too often in coin shops, I feel like I'm dealing with used car salesmen types and not fully honest. Decent numismatics with a passion for the hobby of kings, sometimes surprised by lack of knowledge. Yeah, I
he's
mean,
got a
and
weird
I can
market
imagine
too, though, right?
in that market, it's got to be different too.
Yeah.
Kalilo, man, that's a good question. I don't know. I mean, I don't pay too much attention to those kind of comments and that kind of stuff that moves the market. I don't know. It's such a, that's at a higher pay grade than me. I'm just a stacker.
Road Trip Adventures says, my silver stack is mostly 90%. Should I trade that for American Silver Eagles or just keep stacking the 90%?
That's an interesting question. I love 90%. You guys know that I'm a huge fan of 90%. I will say that when I sold that stuff earlier last week, 20 ounces of it was American Eagles. So I think that I try to keep that three-legged stool going. So that's bars 90% and NCLT, the non-circulating legal tender, the sovereign coins. That's not true, man. Come on now. But yeah, so that's kind of what I do. If you are okay with 90% and you have plenty of 999 silver, then I think it's probably okay to keep the 90%. If you are short in one of those sections, I am a big fan of having that kind of spread out a little bit.
Yeah, it's definitely a good time to be adding 90% as far as I'm concerned.
That's cheap. It's awfully cheap right now.
Yeah. It's about as cheap as it'll get.
I would say it's probably a good time to buy 90% and probably a bad time, not financial advice, but according to what the coin shops and everything are paying for the 90%, I would think it's a bad time to trade for American Silver Eagles, right?
Yeah, you might be right there.
Probably right, yeah. Well,
You
look,
think
Littlefoot
Vermilion-
just traded a bunch of 90% for a 1 ounce PAMP gold bar.
Yeah, he got 40 times face, right? Isn't that what he got for it?
Yep, got 40 times face. So he got $8 back. But like he said, he justified it. He said he only paid $20 times
Right.
face.
Yeah, that's
So
the point that I
he
was
doubled
making.
up, you know?
Yeah. And what my thinking about it all is whatever makes you happy, whatever makes you smile. If the gold to silver ratio is at 60-1 and you trade it at 70-1 and you walk out of there with that gold coin that you never thought you would ever have
That's a
in
good
your
way of looking
life,
at it. Yeah.
and you're smiling, then you know what? Who gives a flying flip if you could have got it at 60-1 or 70-1? If you're happy with your deal, sort of like what Emperor Wang said with the used car type aspect, when you drive off that lot, if you're smiling in the car that you're driving around in, then by all means, do what makes you smile, do what makes you happy. That's what makes the stacking really cool to me, is that everybody's journey is different. You don't have to do what I do. You don't have to do what Blue Collar does. Dub C doesn't have to do what I do. It's your journey. It's your money. You go out there and you earn your money. So spend it how you want. I mean, and it's your stack. If you want to trade all your Buffaloes for $8 back a spot, then do it. If that's what makes you happy. I'm sure there is a right way and a wrong way, but my thinking is, at the end of the day, as long as you're happy with what you're doing, then by all means do it.
If you're moving forward, I think it's a positive thing. You know, are you going to look back and think, man, I wish I had just waited a little bit longer? If the price drops, you're definitely not going to be saying that. I wanted to touch on something that Thousandaire said earlier, and I have, like I said, I've been trying to read the comments as quickly as I can. Thousandaire said that he's not buying gold and he's not buying much silver. If he wants to expound on that, I'd love to hear it. Are you, in fact, stacking cash? Are you keeping your powder dry? Did I misread something? Is there something that you're after? Is it maybe platinum or palladium? I'd love to know your thoughts on that. We've got
he's
Being
after
Becky,
not slick mercury dimes.
not more Mercury dimes. Being Becky, I know that you're in the chat, and I neglected to say hello to you, so thank you for being here.
Being Becky, always good to see you. Shep Celsius says that's a big issue. Just trying to be a vest pocket dealer. Nobody wants you to cherry pick out of what they want to sell. They want to go one person and sell everything. I don't got the cash. I'm trying to catch up on chat too. Look away for a second, and that's a good thing though. It's flying. We got 52 people in here. Good crowd tonight.
Yeah, really nice. Thank you everybody who's popped in to see this. I know these are busy days leading up to the holidays. If you've been busy like I have been recently, trying to get everything in order for everybody who's going to be coming around in the next 5 or 6 or 8 days, it's a labor of love, right? We do this because we love the kids and everything else. But man, is it exhausting? If anybody else is exhausted as I am, and then when you add on to that the fact that silver keeps on trying to get above $70 an ounce, who's got time for this? Who's got time for this?
Well, I was in the LCS. Was it this week or last week? And they didn't have much in there. Like their shelves were sort of empty. Even like gold, silver, and platinum, all of them. And it's funny because they just said that everybody that's been coming in has been selling. So I found that odd that everybody's been selling, but they didn't have anything in the case. I was sort of confused by that. I don't know if they just didn't go through it yet and didn't put it out or what they were doing.
Maybe they've already shipped it off. I do appreciate that, Thousandaire. He said that platinum and palladium, I think he said if the prices are staying low, but for right now, he's looking at cash. That's interesting. That's not a position that we see very often. That's a bold statement, Cotton. Glad to see it, though. I like to have dissenting opinions. I'm keeping powder dry, really, is pretty much what I'm doing. And if I see something that's really, really interesting, I'll buy it. But it's hard when you are a stacker that collects the interesting things. And I've mentioned that before. When there are lots of people who have more generic silver and they have no problem swapping out of it, they have no problem selling it. There's no emotional attachment. For me, a little bit trickier than that. Roll Stacker, 700 trees. Wow, that's nice.
That's a good chunk of land.
That's a nice piece of land right there.
Emperor Wing says, I've never stacked constitutional silver. Shops love to sell it, and they are the first to not buy it back when there's a run up.
Isn't that funny? That's kind of the same thing that I was saying about copper when I did my 2-part videos about whether or not copper is something you should add to your stack. The kind of things that everybody loves to sell, but they're not going to touch it when it comes in the door. So I think that's a good observation, and word to the wise. Although I am a huge fan of 90% silver, it is a little bit trickier to sell it, especially right now. So, it's definitely something to be thinking about.
I think 90% is going to come back around, though. I mean, at one point, the premiums were $6-7 on that.
Yeah, and I always say that I'm a contrarian. To me, right now, 90% makes a lot of sense. I would be using Dub C Choice in particular here. I would go after the form of 90% that you really like, but hold off and get those rolls of brilliant uncirculated Mercury dimes if you can get them. If they are in a position, if shops are in a position now where they feel like they are not being able to buy or to offload 90%, then it's a buyer's market. You can go in there and pick and choose the pieces that you really want. If you are a fan of 90%, now is the time to be really looking at the good stuff. See if you can find those rolls of standing Liberty quarters or walking Liberty half dollars. Look for those uncirculated rolls of Franklin's, right? Now is the time to be picking up the stuff that really is good, maybe even building in some numismatic premiums, because if they're trying to get rid of it, this is your opportunity to get some really good prices on stuff.
Absolutely. Speaking of BU rolls, why don't you open up that roll of dimes?
I was afraid somebody was going to ask me that because I did not bring a box cutter into the WGLD studios with me when I pulled this out of the vault. So I'm going to have to try look behind the counter. Thank you. I needed that. I don't carry a blade with me very often. I let Mr. Glock answer that question for me.
Pajama Stacking says, "Nope, Vegas, you're wrong. Making a video on it right now. On it now. Love you, Dub." That must be what my comment about buy what makes you smile.
Yeah, there you go. All right, so this is one of probably 30 rolls of dimes that I got from a business transaction. It's got to be 15 years ago, and I wish I'd pulled up the Excel file so I could look at this. But this deal that I did, I happened to be buying a crap ton of 90% of the time. So these things went into the vault, and I didn't even look at them. I trusted the person that I got these from implicitly. This is somebody that I'd known online for many years, probably 10 or 15 years at least. And I opened a few of these, and they were exactly what they were supposed to be. So I never bothered. You can see this one is still taped shut. I've never opened this. It's one of what I thought was probably 15 or 20 rolls of unopened dimes. It turns out that I'd opened up more of them a long time ago. I just forgot doing it. But I got tired of it. And when you photograph stuff like I do, when you've got pieces laid out like I do, you learn pretty quickly that when you open up BU rolls like this, and what it says is 1955S, I'm going to assume that that's what that means, that it's a roll of complete roll of 1955 uncirculated silver dimes. They're hard to put back. You can't make cool pictures with piles of silver dimes like I like to do. If you follow my YouTube channel, you know that I take images and I like big piles of stuff. But when you have BU rolls, you don't want to mix up the dates. So you wind up having to look at every single coin when you put it back. And because of that, a lot of these rolls I just literally never bothered to open. So I'm going to try to cut this open now. I swear I have never opened this. We're going to see if they are in fact 1955s. They should be brilliant uncirculated. It's not like they have a huge premium, right? It's not like this is a rare date or anything. At least I don't think it is. I think these are just pretty common pieces. I know I'm going to slice myself. At dinner tonight, I was washing dishes and I dragged a bread knife across my knuckles, and I don't know, you probably can't even see it there. It was just gushing blood for a second. So I'm a little bit gun shy right now.
Road Trip Adventures says my LCS. Yeah, somebody's got to do it.
Dubsy tries to do everything, right? I try to contribute as much as I can. Mm-hmm. I think I got it. So 1955 S times. Let's see if that is what they are. This is going to be Geraldo opening the vault, right? These are going to look like complete junk.
Just don't show any war plans.
All right, are we ready?
Nice. It is 1955.
They're maybe not quite as shiny as that last one. I think they probably are. I just don't have quite as much lighting on them as I did in that last roll. But yeah, that looks like what they are. They are a brilliant uncirculated roll of 1955 S Roosevelt dimes. These were probably pulled from original bankrolls and stashed in these as soon as they could. And they have not seen the light of day for a good 15 years, maybe even longer than that.
Nice.
I would say
Golden that Dragonfly says sell them to him.
Let's see if they got the S. They do have the S. Look at that. There are full split bands on the Roosevelts too, and I'm not the best when it comes to trying to read those. I will say, if you guys saw the image that I posted on my site earlier today, that was the fractional Britannias that you see here, these pieces. There was a roll of 55 dimes, and it may even have been the roll that I opened up on the last Monday Night Metals. I think that's when we did this. But one of them had just a absolutely stunning die break. I was going through the roll. I'd never bothered to actually look through one of those rolls before. And one of them just had a really, really interesting error. That's a die break. The die that was used to strike these was had a big split on it. And because that, when that happens from the high pressure, subsequently you have coins that have that great big ridge running across the devices. It was really, really interesting. So one of the reasons why I wanted to open up this roll, and I'll probably look through it off camera over the next few days, is just checking to see if there's anything interesting in these rolls. Because again, nobody has looked through these rolls in dozens of years. There we go. There's some additional pieces. You can see just how bright and shiny these pieces are.
Yeah, very nice.
Very cool.
Brilliant uncirculated rolls. They were the hot thing back in the late 1980s. Everybody was looking for them. It's not like they were originally from the mint in rolls. They were shipped in bags just like anything. But a lot of those pieces were very, very quickly put into rolls, and they were stashed in safe deposit boxes, and they became a commodity unto themselves, just like dealing with a silver bar. A silver roll had a set known price, and as long as they were uncirculated, people essentially traded them sight unseen.
At Rural Stacker, thanks for stopping in, man. Appreciate you. He said East Coast time, he's headed out. JHJ Hollockbach says thanks for the vintage silver porn. I think he meant. He said prawn. I'm sure he meant porn.
No, Prawn is right. Prawn is right. Yeah, we're at 9:50 local time. News, sports, and the weather on the way up after the break. We're doing no, we're not. I may be going live on Wednesday though. We may have another Wednesday worldwide during the day. I haven't decided yet because Wednesday is like Christmas Eve, isn't it?
Now, you had said you had a bunch of new people on Wednesday.
I had a fair number of new people on Wednesday. You know, I've been going live during the day on Wednesday to try to hit some of the global subscribers because 1 in 5 of my subscribers are overseas. So I've been trying, because I go live so late on Friday evenings. If my videos premiere at 8 o'clock and they run for half an hour or 45 minutes or 2 hours, whatever the hell they do, and then we go live after, you know, it's 8:30, 9 o'clock Central Time by the time we go live. And for a lot of people, that's literally the middle of the night. So I've been trying to open it up a little bit, have Wednesday afternoon shows. Nobody else seems to be taking that spot. And I just thought it would be kind of interesting. I don't know if I'll keep going because I've been trying to have kind of a theme to those. And eventually I run out of pieces to have in a theme and I start kind of repeating myself.
Right. Maybe you should do 2 videos a week and premiere one on Wednesday, one on Friday.
Dude, you should.
Well, what you could do, theoretically, what you could do, you could take your video that you do on Friday, split it in half, and nobody would know the difference.
Oh, nobody would watch it. Nobody watches them anyway, but nobody would, you know, definitely nobody would watch it if I split those videos in half.
Come on, at 35 minutes, you could do part 1 and part 2.
You know, I do that sometimes.
Silverback Stacker says you could give updates Wednesday on sleigh sightings.
Oh, that's a nice idea. I like that. Yeah, maybe we'll do that.
So is Wednesday, are you getting some of the UK crowd over there then?
I think I'm getting a little bit of it. There's also people that are dialing in from other parts of the world, and that's kind of neat to see. You know, it's not the kind of thing that I really announce ahead of time, so it's going to be a little bit hit or miss, and I'm not sure I'm going to keep on doing it. So, you know, I don't know if I want to make it something really regular that I want to broadcast, but it's been kind of fun to go live during the day. I have a little bit more energy. I'm a little bit more awake, so maybe there's some benefit to doing that too. Training with Lion says, anybody stacking copper pennies? I am. I always will. I won't stop doing that unless they completely disappear from change. I get a thrill every time I get a pre-82 Lincoln cent, and I know that just makes me a big old dork.
No, my brother said he went somewhere the other day. My brother said he went somewhere the other day and they rounded up because they didn't have any pennies.
Yeah, that's just what's going to happen from now on.
Wild.
Yeah, I saw a video the other day. A guy said it was 10.51, and they gave him, or it was 10.49, and they gave him 50 cents back. And they said, "Well, yeah, we round up or whatever."
That's rounding.
Rounding down. They rounded down. He says, "No, not with my money. You don't round down."
Yeah. I think we'll get used to it eventually. I have mixed feelings about it, and the entire thing of those Omega cents, that was ridiculous. If you didn't see it, the United States Mint actually literally just sold a gold penny for $800,000 a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah. Do you see there's somebody on eBay, I think it's eBay or maybe Etsy, I don't remember which one it was. They're selling Omega pennies.
Yeah, they're just stamping an Omega sign on them.
Yeah, they're stamping it themselves.
There's nothing illegal about that either. So good for them, I suppose. You know,
they're stamping it in the wrong spot too, which is funny.
That is pretty funny. Stack the Gold said they saw the gold penny in person. They made 232 of them, I think, and they sold for between $40,000 and $800,000. It's just weird times. I'm an old man shaking my fist at clouds at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Training with Lion says, yeah, pennies are getting hard to find. Banks won't even give them out now. That's interesting.
Yeah, I believe it. The people that are selling those on eBay, that's ridiculous, isn't it? I'm like a lot of us, you know, I pull the copper cents from my change, and when I get them, I have huge gallon jug glass jars that I keep them in. Thousandaire says, Dub C, you trying to cash in that Palladium Eagle? No, sir, I am not. That is the only Palladium piece that I have, I think. I'm pretty sure it is. And I love that piece. And no, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate the compliment. They're out there. You can find those. They're not that pricey.
Kalilo says new post on PMs for sale. Perth Dragon Bar coins for spot. Nice.
Okay.
I saw I was looking through Reddit and I came across the Dub C's little Reddit. I never knew you had Reddit.
I am on Reddit. Yep. WC Numismatics, I think. I can't change it officially to Dub C. I was on Reddit 15 years ago, believe it or else. And I had a really big following, and I made a post about 2 years ago without any warning, without any kind of, rap on the knuckles or anything. They perma-banned me from the entire site. So the form that I'm in right now is something that's only about a couple years old, I think. Pajama Stacking, do you have any of the old gold Omega coins? I can't really comment on that because I'm making a video about them, and I've been promising that video for about 2 years now. I do have some experience with them, though. I do appreciate the question.
It's funny. Yeah, I came across Kalilo on Reddit too. I saw he had posted some stuff up for sale the other day, and it went through.
It's kind of funny when we run into people cross-platform, and people are like, "Oh, I've been watching your videos for 2 years now. I didn't realize that was you." And I always use the same backdrop for that reason. I'm either using the Navajo rug or I'm using the Bank of Mexico canvas bag. You guys know that one, right? So
that's what I saw. I was going through Reddit and I saw that the bank bag, and I'm like, wait, I know I had to click on it. I'm like, I know that one.
Yeah,
and
the
same
thing
thing
is,
with Kalilo's. I saw Kalilo's
Kalilo's
backdrop and I recognized it.
Yeah, there are people I know. Kalilo's stolen my backdrop. What am I supposed to do? There are people apparently trying to sell my pieces on Facebook Marketplace.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, and I don't post on Facebook. I'm not on Facebook Marketplace. They're just taking my pictures and trying to sell my stuff, and apparently it's being effective. So who knows?
Interesting.
All right, 10 o'clock local time, news, sports, and the weather on the way up after the break. I am out of here. I'm already way past. It is Angela Lansbury o'clock here in the Midwest. I've got a busy day tomorrow trying to get the rest of the house in order for everybody who's going to be coming over and singing Christmas carols and all that kind of stuff. So I want to appreciate, once again, I want to thank the hosts for having us. They hit me with something, they kind of sidelined me a little bit. They hit me kind of unexpectedly here this evening and this morning when we're talking about them, about the possibility of me coming on live with them. They said, this is going to be our last Monday Night Metals. And I was like, oh man, what have I gotten myself into? What is this going to be about? And they were just lying. They were just liars. That's all it was.
Might have to keep doing it. This is the biggest crowd we've had in here, so that might be the title
absolutely.
from here on out. I don't know. Clickbait worked.
Clickbait. Oh my God, it works. If I had only known that. I'm going to start making clickbait videos. I want to thank everybody who joined, who came from my channel specifically. Remember, if you are not subscribed to Vegas Stacker and to Blue Collar Stacker, you definitely want to subscribe to them. There are several people who are YouTubers who were in the chat tonight. Emperor Wang is one of them. Stack That Gold is one of them. Kalilo is one of them. Being Becky is one of them. Thousandaire Radio is one of them. I think it's really cool when our fellow YouTubers join in the live streams, and it really does make it feel a lot more like a community. That's a really, really nice thing to see. If I don't go live on Wednesday, and I'm still haven't decided if I'm going to, I want to say Merry Christmas to everybody. I hope you have a fantastic holiday with your families or your friends or by your damn selves. That's what it's got to be. Okay. I wish you every possibility for a prosperous 2026 and a new year. I will be around. You're definitely going to see me. This is definitely not my last live stream. So I just want to once again thank everybody who was here tonight. It was a blast to see everybody, and I really do appreciate it. It made my Monday night much, much better.
Thanks, Dub. We appreciate you coming in as usual.
It's awesome. I'll be around. I'll see you guys.
Merry Christmas. That was awesome. Awesome conversations for sure. Wow.
So maybe we should, I just wanted to say thank you to everybody in the chat. And, I never did lives before this year. Vegas and I and LBS in the beginning. Thank you, Dennis, for getting us really started doing this. I just want to say thanks to everybody in the chat. Made my year, honestly. This has
Yes, I
been
agree.
nothing but fun.
I agree. And I think I've learned more on our live streams than I could have learned anywhere else. And I'm not saying that um well, maybe I was just ignorant. I don't know. But the guests we have had on have been amazing to say the least. And it's a big honor. It's been a great time, having all these people on for sure. All these different guests we've had on. Appreciate everybody that has agreed to come on, and I appreciate all those who have disagreed to come on because that's their choice. But like you said, the thank you to Dennis, and thank you to you, Blue Collar, for getting this started. It's been it's been a journey. It's been cool, man. Twice a week, and like you said earlier, it's coming up on our 1 year, and I think we're doing a hell of a job. And I hope we keep growing and even do better in 2026.
Yeah,
And
I like how we've been doing the open mic. We've had a lot of participation. I mean, a lot of people have started live streaming. I'm not going to take credit for it, but I think we kind of opened up a lot of people and get a lot of people in here and they can tell their story and they're taking it and running with it. And I love it.
yeah, let us know. Feel free to drop us an email if you guys have any ideas or if you guys want to see us do something. Drop us an email. We love hearing from you guys. Um, if you do make content, if you don't make content, it goes for everybody that watches our shows. And man, I don't know how many times I tell my wife, I tell my brother, I tell you, and I'm like, I can't believe people actually tune into us and listen to us weekly. It still blows my mind sometimes when I stop and think about it. It's freaking awesome. It's been so cool. And like I said, I hope we grow and I hope we keep growing. And
Yeah, I
Thousand
totally
says you
agree,
guys
man.
got me going with it. That's cool. Kalilo says BCS and Vegas Decker, thanks for these lives. I wouldn't be doing content had I never run across this. That's awesome. That means a lot to me. As I'm sure it means a lot to Blue Collar.
Definitely.
Um, we're here, that one of the reasons that Dennis LBS had we had started doing this was to have guests on and to have smaller channels on and to expose other channels and everybody to each other so that we can help each other's channels grow. And I think we've done more than that. I think we've done more than just help other people's channels grow. We've helped people um, grow their knowledge, grow their stack, grow their get out of their comfort zone a little bit, like Kalilo making content and everything. So it's been really cool, man. It's been really cool.
Yeah.
And I can't thank you guys enough for tuning in Mondays, Saturdays. Some people stick it out the whole show, even if you stop in for 5 minutes. Man, we appreciate it. We really do.
Yeah.
It's
No, it's
awesome.
definitely it's been amazing. It's been a great learning experience. Honestly, you're one of my best friends. And I know it sounds kind of sappy, but we talk every single day. And
Yep,
without YouTube and without Dennis and Dennis is the best community guy out there. Okay,
absolutely,
LBS.
absolutely.
And it means a lot. I don't know what else to say. Thank you, Vegas, for being there for me 100%. Um, love all you guys, man.
Right back at you. And like you said, you've become one of my best friends too. It's a daily basis that we send texts back and forth if it's um about precious metals or whatever is going on. I've had my wife tell me, she's like, you text average Joe more than you text me. And I'm like, well, or something to that effect, or average Joe texts you more than you text me or something. I said, well, you want him to text you? I said, what? You getting jealous? You need him to text you?
That's
Um,
funny.
but it's funny, we get it roomed up. She says, no, hey, listen, we're we're telling everybody thank you. That's what
Yeah.
it comes down to.
No, we're
It's been
very
awesome.
grateful. It's been a great 2025. We're looking forward to a great 2026. God bless everybody and Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Stay safe out there and let's just keep doing it, man. This is great.
Yeah, I plan on doing more content in 2026, so we're gonna make it grow, and we're gonna hopefully this chat and this live stream gets even bigger. We're gonna try and be like Thousandaire with 200 people in the chat and see if we can keep up. So
Yeah, appreciate that, Thousandaire.
yes,
We you know, it's like we've met so many cool people like Thousandaire. I mean, I only knew Thousandaire as this was this dude on YouTube. Right now, I feel like we're friends. You know.
even though he won't get an email, but that's okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll get there. Dub C's another one. I mean, we go back and forth. We send emails to each other. We're always talking and commenting about this and that, and it's like it's a great community. It really is.
I'll tell you, like, man, there's been some guests that we've had on, and we get we get starstruck a little bit, and it's like, man, listen, I emailed so and so, and they said yes, I can't wait, and it's like, it's been cool, man. It's been really fun.
Yeah, for
Thousandaire
sure.
says he has to agree. He is pretty cool. You are pretty cool. You're all right.
Yeah, definitely.
Everybody in here is pretty cool.
Yeah.
You should have a silver YouTuber poker game with 90% silver as the chips. Oh, you should host. Should host a silver YouTuber game. Man, maybe we
Well,
could do that.
I keep saying it. I'm going to be at the fun show. I know Fish is going to be there. Pirate's going to be there. Becky, I think, is going to be there. All the Florida people obviously going to be there, but there's going to be people coming in from out of town. So if anybody can make it, it's a great show. You can't want for anything there. Anything that you want to find, you'll find. So
Yeah.
it'd be cool. Either that or Vegas. I would love to meet up out there as well.
Vegas, the next show is, what'd you say, April, huh? Oof.
Yeah, early April, I think.
Gold might be at 100 by then. Gold will be at 5,000, silver will be at 100, and platinum will be at 3,000.
Either that or we'll be looking at like $2,030 again,
Yeah, maybe.
You never know. You never know.
Yeah, that's for sure. So it has been 2 hours. We're just gonna try and do 2 hours tonight. What do you think?
Yeah, that sounds great to me. I got something I got to do at 11:15, so it works out perfect.
Like I said, everybody, like we said, we will not be on Saturday. We will not be on Monday. So I hope everybody has a happy and safe Christmas. Spend time with your family and your loved ones. Spread some cheer and enjoy.
Yeah, we'll be back on January 3rd and then January 5th. So that'll be the first shows back. So mark your calendars.
And I think in January, actually January 11th, we will also be on the Weatherman's channel.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we're going to be on Fish Small Town Mafia. Small Channel Mafia, sorry, Fish. That'll be on January 11th. You are right.
And hopefully I don't know. Hopefully I'm not still a small channel by then. Hopefully I grow a little bit, but I'll still go on either way. I don't know his definition of small channel, but either way, we're scheduled to go on there. So cool. Thousandaire Khalilo says you want to go live on Saturday. He is in. Alrighty, guys. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you as always. It's been a great year, and we will see you and talk to you next year.
Take care, guys. See you in 26.